Hello, it's Commander Mabry again.
It's been brought to my attention that people are wanting to learn how to make missions and don't know how. So I'm going to run through the basics of setting up a absolute bare bones mission here. You can put as much time as you want into it, or as little time into it as you want. The more time you put into them, generally, the better they're going to be. So first things first. When you get a map, you want to choose what map you want. I chose Altus because it's one of the biggest maps and most versatile maps. After that, you kind of want to just fly around and figure out what you want to do. I've already got something a little bit staged here that I have an idea of. So the objective is we're going to start the players here at the radio tower where my camera currently is. The player's going to move, clear out the factory, and then after the factory, they're going to move and find a weapon cache inside the town of Core, and that will be mission complete. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and open up the map. Over here on the right, I'm going to select the markers, or you can push F6 to switch through the different thing. Icons should automatically pop up, and these are all the different type of icons. So I'm going to mark the factory for clear, and then I'm going to take another marker and mark core. So that way I know in the back of my mind that these are my objectives. So after that, I'm going to go to my starting position, and I'm going to start working on my players. Working on my players, I'm going to come over from the top again, come over to objects and single units. Then it'll give all of these lists of different factions, and these are all just the pre-builts. Don't be afraid. There's a lot of them. They all have their own customization. Feel free to customize anything however you want. Since I'm going to be building my own squads particularly, I'm just going to use the default NATO squads. And I'm going to choose a squad leader to lead the squad. Then we're going to come back up in here, choose a combat lifesaver, auto rifleman, and then a Rifleman AT. This is all I'm going to build, just so you guys can get a feel for it and you're not watching me build 12 guys. So what I generally do is I highlight everybody with just a click and drag, and then I pick one of them. So I'm going to choose the auto rifleman here, edit loadout, Ace Arsenal. Everybody who's ever used an Ace Arsenal, this should be pretty familiar. But this is literally everything in our mod set. So first thing I usually do is remove their gun, just so I can get a look at the guy a bit better. You can come through and change their clothes, so I'm going to give him the full set. His rig, just going to keep him with the basic rig, just to kind of speed things along here and continue. I'm going to give him, however, the enhanced combat helmet, because it offers a bit better protection than the standard combat helmet that they start with. So after that, I'm going to remove their faceware. Go to empty at the top here, just so that if you have custom faceware on your character that you would like you've chosen ahead of time, that it will automatically give it to you instead of being overwritten by whatever I've given. After that, I'm going to go back to their uniform, and at the bottom here, where this little white bar is, that is the current load of their inventory. Since this is a pre-built unit, they have a bunch of crap in their inventory already. So usually I just hit the trash, and then so I can put what they need in their inventory. I'm going to go to the medical, collect their bandages, and I'm going to hold shift and click. It will go in increments of 5. If I just click, it'll go in increments of 1. So I'm going to give them, we'll say 30 bandages. We'll give them 20 morphine. Well, so I was going to give them some tourniquets, but since I don't have enough room, I'm going to give them 15 morphine, give them 5 tourniquets, and then just fill the rest out. After that, go to their vest. Their vest has stuff in it, so I'm going to trash it. Miscellaneous items. This is all the miscellaneous. Anything MCC here, don't ever worry about. It's stuff that is just added with MCC, but we never use it, and it serves no purpose. So don't worry about any of that, but I'm going to give him a radio. And then we're going to go and choose guns. So what I'm doing here is, since I highlighted everybody, I'm editing everybody. Everybody, when I click the OK button, will end up exactly like this guy. So if I give him, for example, an AK, and then I click apply, the entire squad is exactly how I built that guy. So just going back into it again. Let's say we're going to give them. We'll just give them M4s just for ease. Just an M4 with a dot sight. Okay, that's good enough. So then we're going to go back to his vest. Now we're going to give him ammunition for his gun. So we come through here and we find whichever ammunition I want to give him. So I'm just going to give him a bunch of ammo here. He's already has the radio in his vest, which is good. It will get deleted on transferring it to the server and mission start on the server. I don't know why it does it. It just does it. But if you build it with the radio already in their inventory, then when it gets deleted, the player still has that room to pick up their radio. After that, I'm going to click apply. So now everybody starts with an M4. Squad leader, we're going to go into him and do next. He's the one that leads the squad, obviously. We're going to give him the M4 with the grenade launcher variant. Secondary magazine, so this is what's loaded in the launcher. Going to give him an HE round. Come back here, and we're going to find a backpack for him. On the left here in the backpack slot, we'll just give him a kit bag. Back here in miscellaneous items, we're going to come down, grab a long range, throw it in his backpack, go back to the weapons, and we're going to find our grenades again. Let's see, 40 mil HEs. We'll say we'll give him 15 of those. That's 16 plus the one, or 15 plus the one in the tube. And then we'll also give him 15 smokes. And we'll give him some other color, like 15 white smokes and 10 red smokes. And that is basically a squad lead. Auto rifleman. So how do I bring up this context menu? I don't know if I talked about it, but I just right click on the guy. And then edit load up, Ace Arsenal. Scrolling through here, we're just going to find him a machine gun. Just go through this quickly so I'm not taking so much time. That's good enough. That's too big. That's better. Alright, so there, we're going with that. Magazine for it. We're going to give him the box with the tracers in his vest. We're going to go back over to the ammunition, give him the box with tracers, give him a backpack as well. So now he's got a backpack. And then we will give him more ammunition in his backpack. Okay. AT guy, doing the same thing. Right click, go to Ace Arsenal. See, since I've built the squads to the default already how I want them, I don't really have to change anything out of them other than give them the specific equipment they need for their class. So AT guy, I'm going to come back over here to launchers. All the CSWs, crew served weapons. If you want to set up like a static HMG or a heavy machine gun, a mortar or something like that, this is something that you can use to give to the players to where they can pack it up and carry it around with them as they need it. But we'll just give him a Moz. We'll give him the Moz sight to go with it, and we'll make sure it's got the Heat 75 round in it. Give him a backpack. He's already got the backpack on, so we're going to go over back to magazines. Come through, find the rounds, give him some rounds. Okay. Then the medic. The medics are a little bit more complicated. I usually come over here in the search bar at the top and type in medic, and then click the little search icon, and this will bring up all the backpacks that are specifically medical backpacks. There's no real difference in storage or anything from the basic ones, but the medic backpack does get the little plus on it just to kind of indicate that he's a medic at quick glance. So over here back on the right side, we're going to click on medical items. I usually start with the blood first, so I'm going to give him 20 blood bags, then the personal aid kit, then I give him 10 spare tourniquets. After that, this is also the medic. Essentially, he's a medic bearer. He heals you, and he also carries an extra bunch of medical supplies for the squad if needed. So I'm going to give him 50 bandages. We'll say 40 morphine, and then we'll just fill him out with 25 epi. And then he's still got a little bit of room in here, so I'm just going to bump it up just a little bit on the bandages. Okay, and that is your player squads. So if you look on the squad leader here, he's got the red circle around him. That means he is a playable unit. Since these other ones don't have the circle around him, that means that they are AI. So how to change that is I'm going to find the little blue marker above them, double click that. It'll open up this screen. You want to scroll down till you see object control and then playable here. Would you click that? And then see now they all have the circle around them. That means they are all now playable units. So once I got my people together, then I'm going to build a box for them. So we're going to a resupply box and or a arsenal box that they can grab their shit out of. We do have some pre-built ones, but I'm just going to build one for you quickly, just so you can see how to do it if you change anything out of it. So we're going to come through here, find equipment box, grab whichever one you like. I usually use the NATO just because everybody can read it. After that, we're going to double click on it. So now we're in this menu. The equipment and storage, this is the physical inventory of the box that always comes with a bunch of stuff in it. So I'm going to click clear because we don't use the physical inventories of the boxes very often. After that, after it's empty, I'm going to minimize that and come down to Object Ace Arsenal. So from here, this is the Ace Arsenal. Anything I add in here will be able to be grabbed by the players. So we want the M4, and then it'll give you all the different ones here. If you highlight over them, if you know the class name of the weapon you're currently looking for or not, it will tell you what they are. So infinite, so they can grab as many of these as they want. We'll go pistols, come back down here, remove that. We'll say that they can have the FN45. Optics. If you know what optics are which, you can come through and select which ones people you can give to people and so on and so forth. I'm just going to select a few in here just to show you. The side rails, there's a lot of stuff bullshit added here just for everything, but usually it's the flashlights. So any muzzle devices, suppressors, so on and so forth. I'm not going to add any of those. And then magazines here. So this is the big one. So magazines, we want to find the 30 round. And then we're looking for, we'll just use one of these here just because they're easy. And then if you want to add their specific headgear or a variation of headgear, uniform, vest, backpacks and stuff in there for people to choose, by all means. I'm not going to because this is just a simple test mission. Same with the launchers. So if I wanted to add, everybody can pick up, an M72 Law or something like that. That's where you would go to that. So now on this first tab here, this is everything that is allowed in the box. So we have everybody's gun, then the ammo that goes with the gun. We don't currently have any spare rockets for the guy to grab or any machine gun belts for them. I know the name of the machine gun belts, so I'm just going to search M62 Tracer. So that's for the machine gunner. And then the Moz. Moz, so we'll give him some extra rounds. So after that, we can clear our search bar down here, come back here. So we've got the ammo for the machine gun, the ammo for the rifles, as well as spare rounds for the launcher. Then we click OK. So that is the arsenal box. Usually you add like the radios and extra medical and stuff in there, but I'm trying to keep things moving. So now, once we got this done, they need a way to get to their objectives. So I'm going to come back to Objects Blue Fort. And since it's a 4-man squad, we will just give them one of the MATVs. So then from here, if you either right-click on it or double-click on it, and then go down to Attributes, this is the inventory of the vehicle. So inventory of the vehicle comes with a bunch of crap in it already. You can clear that out, and then they can put whatever they want in the vehicle. So that way, and then since I've already cleared it, I can copy and paste as many of them as I want. Same thing with the box. And copy and paste as many of them as I want. So we'll go ahead and remove those. Okay, so now they got their... So now you got your squads together, they got their radios, you got their transport. One thing I do when I'm getting close to being done with the squads and everything, I will always copy the squad leader and paste him off to the side. And so I will have this as my Zeus character. So this will be you as the Zeus. It's just a carbon copy of your squad lead. He's got his long range and everything to be Zeus. After that, so now we're going to come back over to our objective. So our first objective is just clear this out. So we're going to go to compositions. So this is just groups of units instead of singular units. We're going to fight Op 4. And we're going to fight Russians. So we will fight the Russian MSV. And then from here, we just want them in the Flora camo, and we'll just put some squads down. So these are all just pre-built squads. And just put a couple squads in here. Then let's say, for example, on, I don't know, fucking this water tower here, I want to have a machine gun on top of it. So I'm going to come over to Objects, Single, and then I'm going to come down to Russia, MSV, Turrets, and I want to put a machine gun. So now there's a guy with a machine gun. If I hold Shift and click on him, I can move my mouse around and orient him in any direction I want. If I hold Alt and click on him, I can pick him up and down and set him wherever. So if he spawned on the ground, then I needed to pick him up on top of that one. So if I just try and drag him over, he's not going to meet there. But then if I hold Alt, I can pick him up to the top. So then we'll have that. And then we'll say that there is, since we have an AT guy, that there is a BTR here as well. So that is the first objective. You can fancy it up as much as you like. Say you want to fortify one of these buildings and have some guys in it. So we're going to come to props. So these are just the empties. Then we're just going to search for sandbag. So these are just all the different sandbags we have. And so, for example, I'm just going to take this sandbag tall here. And we'll say that they have sandbagged this door to where you cannot open it. And then from in here, there's the one with the hole in it. They're blocking off the windows, but they're leaving themselves a little hole to shoot out of. You can do that as much as you want. There's also structures here. So if I wanted a house, for example, if I wanted to add more houses in here or more structures, say, for example, a shed. So if I wanted to put another shed in, or a fucking, where was it? There's another shed. If I just wanted to dot things around, I can do that just as much as I want. So there, I've added some more to the base itself. If I wanted to add some like tank traps, so I'm gonna search for barbed wire and tank traps. So now I've got that. So now that I've got this highlighted, I'm Control C, copy, Control V, paste, and then they have a little fortified entrance here, and so on and so forth. There's also bunkers. There's just all sorts of stuff. The more you make missions, the more you'll know what's what, and then you can go from there. So if I wanted, a tower bunker here to give them a little advantage over shooting and defending and so on and so forth. So then after that, we're going to go to the next town. So once they come here and kill all the dudes and blow up the vehicle, they're going to come over here. So now this town, we wanted to make a weapon cache or something like that. So thinking about it, we'll actually change it up, because that's kind of generally how it goes. So instead of a weapon cache being here, I'm going to say that there is an artillery pit, or a mortar pit or something here. So we're going to look around the town and see what I can find. So I like this little courtyard back here. So we're coming here. We're going to go back to Op 4. We're going to go back to our units that we were using. Go to turrets, and we are going to give them, I think it's under artillery. Yeah, so under artillery. So if we want the guys on the mortar, you can just drop it down. But the thing is they might shoot it by themselves. I don't want them to shoot it by themselves. So there's two things you can do. First thing, you can remove the guy from the mortar. That won't stop them from coming and getting back on it, but it keeps them off of it for the time being. The second thing you can do is you can double click on it, and then here in the ammo slider, just move the ammo to 0. And then the mortar will not have any ammunition, therefore it cannot fire on its own. So we'll just take a few of these, copy and paste them. Say there's a mortar pit here. Their job is to come here and clear the town for the mortar pit. So to keep you from switching through all the tabs back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, if you've already got a objective down with dudes, you can copy the whole squad, and then come back over and paste the squad. So now let's say I've got, my 3 squads here defending that, but I want a squad to be patrolling around this little courtyard here. So I'm going to paste another squad down. And then as I have them selected here, I'm going to shift, right click. It will give them a move marker. If I continue to hold shift and click again, it will give them another one. So I'll just build myself a little path for them to follow. And then on the last one, if I double click this, these are all the different types of orders that you can give to them. If I click cycle, okay, so then as the squad moves around, the squad will walk between all the points, and when it gets to this last one, it will repopulate all the points again, and then they will just continue walking them in a circle forever until they reach combat. When they reach combat, the advanced AI scripts will take over, and they will go and fight as they're supposed to, which is handy. So then after that, let's say, so I've got my mission, I've got my basic bare bones mission here. Say I want to change the time of day. Up here at the top, there's there's 4 little buttons here. If I click on this one that says Intel, this shows me the year, the month, the day. And if you look through here in it, you can see like the moon cycle. So this is a full moon, this is a new moon. So let's say I wanted to do this on a full moon, and I want them to be starting early in the morning. Let's say I want it to rain. I'm turning the overcast up. I want there to be fog or not. If I want to force it to rain, I can click the manual override and set it to full. The forecast is how long it will take to change. So for example, if I set this to 1 hour, 40 minutes, the overcast start is at 100%. It will be raining at the start of the mission. And then an hour and 40 minutes in, there is going to be no rain at all. That is how, or it will not be overcast at all. It will take an hour and 40 minutes to make that change. So if I wanted it to be super, super foggy, and then an hour and 40 minutes later, as the time continues on, it will slowly taper off until there's no fog. In that time limit, you can set it up to 30 minutes, you can set it up to 8 hours. Usually our ops only last about 2 to 3 hours, so keep that in mind. So we'll just turn the rain off for now, and we'll make it back to the early morning. Turn the rain off. There we go. Okay, so now we've got this. Now that I have my general mission premise done, I'm going to come back over here. In the mod pack, but the Mission Maker file that you would have downloaded at this point, I will show it to you later and how to do that. There will be a composition, and then it will be in custom here. I have a ton of custom compositions. I have a ton of custom compositions here because I build missions all the time, and I also save some from the Steam Workshop that I find that are cool. But you will find one that is called Working. This is the framework. This is part 1 of the framework. So all of these modules are just mission critical stuff. It's how we make our missions run the way they do. Do not edit these at all unless you know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing, so I can edit them, but if as a new mission maker, don't edit them, just drop them down, that's fine. After that, we're going to scenario, save, and we're going to name this mission something. So I'm just going to name this TEG test, and click save. And then after that, I will bring you over to the second part of the framework that we need to get to. All right, so now we're back on my desktop. After you've downloaded your TEG framework, it will look, you'll get the framework 3.2. It's something I've posted. You'll find it. There might be updated version, but this is what I have at the moment. You're going to go ahead and open it. I already have a copy of it, so I'm just going to go ahead and open it. This is what it should look like. It may be a little bit different, but it should look pretty much like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy all but the 2 things that say composition. I'm going to copy them, and then we're going to go to your Arma 3 mission directory. I have a shortcut for it, but Not everybody does, so I'm going to walk you through how to get there. So we're going to go to our documents. Then we're going to find Arma 3. I think mine's in other profiles. It'll be in one of those two. It'll be either in Arma 3 itself or Arma 3 other profiles. If you have multiple profiles, it'll be in other. If you have just the one, it'll be in Arma 3. So in here, you're going to find the one that you're currently using. So I'm using that one. And then you're going to find your missions. And then in here, there's the TEG.test. We're going to double click that. So this is all of the stuff that we put on the map itself. This is the second part of the framework. We're going to paste that other stuff in here. And that was part 2. There is a folder called Edit These. In here is your briefing, your intro shot, and your intro text. In here, I just have a basic, if you don't want to edit this or whatever, you can just leave this be. Or you could tell them what they have. You know, they have the mat V, they have blah, 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 how they're supposed to complete the mission, and the mission objectives themselves. I'm not going to edit them. And we'll go to intro text. So intro text here, the mission was made by me. If you want to insert the mission name, insert mission name here. TEG test, company or organization. Say you can name them whoever you want to be. If you want them to be special forces or so on and so forth. I'm just going to put them as NATO. If you want to put a specific date and time for it, you can, or the location. If not, leave these blank. It will automatically take it from the mission itself, whatever date and time it is, and then update it from there. So then we're going to File, Save, close that. Then we're going to go back to Arma here. Back into Arma. After we've got our part 1 and we just did part 2, we're going to File, Save again, make sure just anything changes. And then we're going to, the scenario again, Export, Export to Multiplayer. Then I should say Export to MP Missions folder. MP Missions is a little bit different than your standard location. That will be in your Arma directory, not your profile directory. So to get back to that, I will bring us back to our home screen. So back on the home screen, I'll show you how to get to that. So we're going to go to our C drive here. We're going to go to Program 86. Going to find Steam, Steam Apps, Common. I'm going to find Arma 3, MP Missions. Oh, where is it? It's on my black drive. Okay, so it's on. I have mine on a different drive. So whatever drive you have Arma installed on. So mine's on my black drive or my B drive. Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, Arma 3, and then your MP missions. And this is all the missions that I have previously built. There's the the TEG_test.altus. What we're going to do from there is once we have that, we're going to come here to the Discord, and we're going to go to Mission Upload Channel, and we want to dump that mission there. So we're going to take this, put it here, and then we're going to hit OK. And then once it's uploaded, just at me or Demon, anybody that has server access, and we can put it on the server and test stuff. Sometimes the server doesn't like certain things, or there might be something changed. But that is essentially how you build a mission in a nutshell. If you have any questions, me and or Demon are more than happy to help. We build missions every week. We have, I mean, you've seen my directory of missions here, and this is actually after I've cleaned it out once. We're more than happy to answer any questions you have or help you along your mission making path. But that's basically how you make a mission in a nutshell. You can, like I said at the very beginning, the more time you put into it, the better the mission's going to be. So have at it. Thanks for watching. Later.